Alright, I think I got it now. Let's make a mess. Hey, how's it going, VX? So today we're turning hard maple and we're making shafts for Turkish spindles. Hey, how's it going, HK? Welcome in. Yep, so today we're playing around on the lathe. VX, will I what? I guess I'm a little lost. Hello, how's it going? VX, I don't know what you want me to do. You said hi, and I said hi to you, and then you said, will you please? Please, 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 will I? We are making shafts for Turkish spindles, which are used to spin yarn. So we are turning hard maple. The next one I'll walk through the steps, what I'm doing. So we're just gonna add some wax. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Yep, I just released a video today working on the scroll saw, making a decorative Hello Spring sign. Alright, so there's the shaft. So it slips on these arms. And that's ready to spin yarn. It has to be sanded, of course, but... So I just got a new order of the shafts in, and they're amazing. Sometimes I get some that are pretty disgusting, but these have all been really nice. Alright, so I ordered these from a dowel company, and they make them per order. So these aren't from a big box store or anything. I ordered them oversized so I could true them up. So the first thing we're going to do is take off enough material where the wrench will fit over the top. So I'm using this wrench as a caliper. Now I'm going to be making an 8-inch shaft. I actually have lines drawn on my tool rest to get me in that region. So I know I need to have my taper here for an 8-inch. So I've been using a roughing gouge, and I'm going to switch to a normal spindle gouge, which takes off less material but gives you a better surface. Do a quick sand here. Now I'm going to turn the lathe off and back out my tailstock while it's still turning so I can see if this is running true or not. So there's a hair of vibration on there, but it's not much. So instead of an 8-inch, I'll make a 7. I'll go with chopsticks, or mini magic wands will also work. Concealed carried magic wands. You never know when you have to Leviosa somebody. So now I'm just burning in decorative lines. I kind of stopped saying what I was doing. But I have some picture frame hanging wire here that I put handles on. So I made a garrote. So So prior to that, I used a beading tool, which is just a V shape, just to set in these beads. So now we're just sanding it out. We're starting with the medium grit and going to fine grit. Then we're going to grab some wood chips. And we're going to hold them against the wood. It's called burnishing. Think of it like a friction polish. And we have some wax. Now we're going to form the finial on the end. We're going to use a skew for that. And then we'll just refine the shape a little bit with some sandpaper. Back to burnishing. Then a little bit of wax. Cut off the bottom. So the next step will be sanding that flush and then adding a little wax. So if you're new to the stream, my name is Scott. My channel is kind of beginner woodworking videos. We've been kind of focusing on the scroll saw, making some beginner-friendly designs and patterns. I have been woodworking since I got my first scroll saw in 1987 when I was 12. I've been woodworking pretty much my whole life as a hobby. I've been doing this professionally this is our 11th year. So my day job is I make drop spindles, primarily. You know, you find your niche, and then you just kind of, get hyper-focused on making one style of, whatever. So, yeah, I've been working out of the house for a long time. Earlier this year, in October, we moved into a commercial space, which is nice. So I have a separation between home life and work. Granted, it's Saturday and I'm here. The drop spindles for spinning yarn, we've been using them since the Neolithic times. So, the ones for cars, I think, came after. I'm not going to be turning any tie rods today. I actually used to work on an assembly line making vehicles. There you go, there's an 8-inch. This is also hard maple. This is a standard. It's more of a traditional crescent shape. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. So it's Saturday, 3:04 p.m. And I'm in Wisconsin, and it's currently 46 degrees. We're having a tropical heat wave. And that, of course, is in Fahrenheit. We're not boiling. $7:05 in South Africa. Little time difference. So today's my day off and I'm working. It's just the way life goes. Yeah, so we just picked up a new festival last week. So in May, we'll have 2 shows, so I kind of have to build up a bunch of inventory for those. So we just picked up Shepherd's Harvest, which is in Minnesota. So it's kind of closer. It's like, I think, a 5 or 6 hour drive. It's not so bad. So I am wearing, well, safety glasses. I do have hearing protection in. It's not really that loud in here, but I do have, they're also headphones, so I got music going. Unfortunately, I can't share it with you guys, otherwise, you know, YouTube will get mad at me. We don't want that. Alright, so now we're going to lay in the beads. So when I bring it in, I'm actually going to move it back and forth a little bit. I'm going to oscillate it just a little. If I just go straight in, it's so thin, it's going to vibrate a little bit, and then you would get chatter around the outside. So you'd have a whole bunch of vertical lines when you looked at it, so we're trying to avoid that. Alright, well, it's late. Have a good day. Thank you for hanging out. I'm more than happy to talk, but if you guys would rather have more of a ASMR experience, or you just hear the equipment, I can do that as well. Alright, it's a little better. My screen was messed up. Hey Fab, how's it going? Welcome in. So probably for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be focusing a lot on building up inventory and making videos as well. It's kind of like going to the pub and waiting for things to blow over during a zombie apocalypse. Oh, I can actually show you what we just made this week for the video. Let me grab it. So we made this little Hello Spring sign out of Baltic birch plywood. I mean, for a beginning scroll saw project, this it's nice. It's not overly complicated, and it looks more complicated than it is. So, yep, that's what we made this week. So I just had one strand break. This wire does get fatigued and it does break. But I have a lot of it. I've got like a lifetime supply of it, so I'm just gonna keep using it. When it breaks, you just cut it off and tie it back on. So on my handles, I put some magnets, so I can just stick them to the lathe so I don't have to hunt down this. So when I'm not using it, I just stick it right there. And it's always there. This wrench is always here, and this other wrench is always here as well. They're all on magnets. My pencil I have on a magnet, so I can stick it onto my tailstock. I don't like looking for things. I'm also wearing an apron. I don't always wear an apron. You know, if I always wore the apron, I would always have a pencil on me, but I like it just stuck on there. Is it Gurky? Thank you. So I started up before I put the live center in. See, there's a little vibration in there. That way when I put this in, it's going to be centered to the shaft. If I would draw the center on here, stuck it in, and put my live center in there, it might not, it'll be in the center of this plane, but it wouldn't necessarily be in the center of this plane. So you can see wobble wobble. Now we'll back the tailstock up, and you see now it's running straight. If I would have forced it into that center, it would have a wobble. This here is a piece of Vera wood, so it's very, very hard. And I use this as my my whirl, my test whirl. So when I bring it in here, when it registers there, then I take my story stick. I have this cutout, so I register it against the story stick, and then I just transfer the lines over. That way they'll all be the same length. So yeah, you know, I do have some numbers on here. That's not even necessary. It's another example. It's just got some lines cut in it. So there's a taper in the shaft. So you push it together and it locks in. I'm gonna flip this one around. Not a big fan of that grain right there. Hey Keith, how's it going? I decided to jump on for a couple hours, get some stuff done. Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm taking tomorrow off. Tomorrow is Sunday, yep. Oh, I hear ya. The first couple of years when I was self-employed, I had a hard time remembering what day it was, because, yeah. The only difference is you get to hang out with your working friends on the weekends. Yeah, I need to spend a lot of time making shafts. I used to have these in bags and have, like 50 extra ones laying around, but my stash has been depleted. That is the extent of my backup shafts. These are nice. This is something I could shut my brain off and make. Yesterday, I watched the movie Serenity while I was doing it. The funny part about that, on Amazon, you could buy an episode of Firefly for $2.99, or the entire run of the show, the one season, for $5.99. Oh, I saw Profit. Yep. What am I gonna do? I saw that they're re-releasing Dogma in the theaters, the Kevin Smith movie. It took me forever to find Dogma at a thrift store. I refused to buy one off eBay. I was like, no. So I'm glad that fiasco is done. So, yeah, Weinstein owned that movie. Last year, somebody bought it from them on the estate. guys, welcome in. If you're new to the stream, we are turning shafts for Turkish drop spindles. We're doing spindle turning, so it'd be very simple. It's very similar to making a pen, a magic wand, spindles for banisters, chair parts, magic wands, what have you. So I have made tens and tens of thousands of these in my life. Eventually I'll get good at it. So the dust extractor is more about catching the fine dust from the sanding. It's not really there to catch the wood chips. The wood chips fall to the floor. The fine stuff I don't want to breathe in. I don't want... I battled the dust in here enough as it is. So I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky. Me and my partner, she's been working. I've been doing this. So this is my 11th year. She's been with me for like 8 or 9 years doing this. So it's nice. I get to like hang out with my best friend every day. Except for today. She did show up for a few minutes. And like, yeah, I'm not feeling good. We'll go back home. So I get to walk home today. It's about 3/4 of a mile, which is good. I'll get my steps in. I don't know about this one. Oh yeah, that's not good. There's something going on with this one. You never know what's on the inside, you know? I've been doing this long enough where if it feels wrong, just stop. It's not worth it. So my scrap, I do burn. We have a fireplace at home. So this stuff makes great kindling. Thank you so much for the like. Much appreciated. So, this pencil is a paper-mate handwriting pencil. This is made for little kids to learn how to write. It's got like a full-size lead in it, and it's kind of bulky. For putting lines on here, I'm not worried about breaking the lead off, where if I had a finer lead, it would break all the time. Now we're to cherry. So we got maple whorls and cherry. Maple shafts, cherry whorls. So my lathe is a Laguna Revo 1216. It's their MIDI size lathe. Now before I got this workshop, I was working out of a 10-foot by 10-foot bedroom. So I didn't have a lot of room. Now I got lots of room, but everything I make fits on this lathe. So it's hard to rationalize getting a larger lathe when this is just kind of my Goldilocks size. So the 1216 means that I can turn a 12-inch bowl, and I can have 16 inches on the bed. Yep, so we're doing batch work today. I'm just making a whole bunch of shafts. Quite a bit of vibration here. We'll turn the size down and see how it looks. Good. We are a quiet bunch today, aren't we? Today's the day where I'm going to knock everything on the floor. It's part of my Winnie the Pooh exercise regimen, where I go up, down, touch the ground, because it puts me in the mood. In the mood for food. Gonna be moving my. These are the ones that we just got done making. I'm making a pile on the table here. Then we'll check on the 3D printers and then get back to work. So we are printing some dragons. So they're dichromatic filament. So they look like these, where they have two different color filaments. The filament's two different colors. It's pretty sweet. Yay! We made it back. So I do a lot of supporting on the wood while I'm turning it, just because it's so thin that me cutting in there, you can see I can flex it. If I just stick it in there, it's just going to chatter. Yeah, it looked a little thick. So I have been making standards. These are gliders. So the shape is different on them. They work the same. Almost 4 o'clock. I do plan on being on here till about 5, so we got another about hour and 8 minutes. See if we can get some stuff made. So I think the next one I'll walk through what we're doing. So if you're just doing in, we're making shafts for Turkish drop spindles that are used to spin yarn. Do we have any yarn spinners in the room besides myself? So this is Bolivian rosewood. Once it's sanded and there's a finish on it, it really pops. Then this one is Yellow Heart. Got some vibration here, we're going to check it. Looks good. Keep going. I guess I'll walk through the next one. It's kind of in the zone. So the bottom gets sanded in the next step, and then it gets waxed as well. So we returned. So we're starting out with a hard maple dowel. I used to make these out of square stock, where I'd go to the lumber mill and get a 6/4 and 8/4 inch thick piece of hard maple, and then cut it down into big rectangles. You know, it'd be a square, and then we turn from there, which is fine, except where the machining takes me a lot of time, and then it makes so much more wood chips because you're taking away all that extra material. So this way it costs a little bit more, but it saves me a ton of time. Sometimes, you know, you gotta weigh. Your time is worth something. I think it was Adam Savage. He was talking about when you first start out, you know, materials are the most expensive thing. But when you get better at your job and more experienced at it, pretty soon the materials are the least expensive thing, and your time is the most expensive thing. And it's true. I mean, time is money. Alright, so this is hard maple. It's on here. We have to bring the diameter down. I'm going to be using this wrench as a caliper. So once the wrench is able to fit over, I know I'm on size. So that's the actual largest diameter on the bottom that we're dealing with. Everything from here over is going to be machined down to a little less than 1/4 inch. So I've got marks on my tool rest. I know if I come in right here, that's where I want to be for my 8-inch shaft. Do a quick sanding. This is for me more than anything else. I'm going to back the tailstock off while it's still running to make sure the shaft is running true. There's a lot of internal stresses in wood. They're not all going to turn out. I'd rather check it now than wait until I get to the very last step and have it, you know, have it be bad, and then I would have to, you know, I wasted all that extra time. I mean, I can find this diameter without, I could just go like that, and that would be where I need to be, but then I wouldn't be able to see what it was doing. Alright, this is a beading tool. It's just V-shaped. You could cut this with a skew. This is just a little quicker. I'm going to use my skew to form the finial on the top. And we're going to pick a point here and then taper everything together. Now we're going to burn 2 decorative lines on the bottom. Turn the speed down on the lathe and sand it out, starting with a medium grit. Then a fine grit. Grabbing some wood chips, and we're going to burnish the surface. And we're going to add some wax. Back to my skew, we're going to form the finial on the top. Sand it out. Burnish and wax. that one got in there. It's a 7. So this one we're going to be shooting for a 7-inch. So a good rule of thumb is the smaller the spindle, the thinner the yarn. I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. So I'm trying to clean out my little tin here. I want to get as much of the wax out of it as I can before I add new stuff to it. It doesn't really matter. It just makes me feel better. You know, I totally understand that production work isn't for everyone, but I find a lot of enjoyment in making things. And I also feel very blessed that I'm able to do this for a living. Alright, I'm gonna call this one empty enough. Let's fill it up. Ooh, fresh can. So we're just gonna scoop this out. Sorry. When I grabbed the stick, I didn't realize it was like 2 feet long. Be enough for today. Press that down. Alright, I think we're going to go back to 8 inches. Hey guys, welcome in. If you're new to the stream, my name is Scott. I like to make stuff. My day job is I'm a spindle maker. I make spindles and other fiber tools. Make things for weavers and knitters, crocheters, that kind of stuff. Today we are making drop spindles, and I'm turning shafts for Turkish drop spindles. So I've been making these full time. This is our 11th year. My channel itself is focused on like beginner woodworking projects. I guess we're going 7. So most of the tooling I'm using is Robert Sorby. It's made in Sheffield, England. This is the Harbor Freight tool that I still use. Yeah, it works. Hi! Welcome back, Keith. How's it going? You didn't miss much. So the tin is full of paste wax. So I'm going to put paste wax as a protective coating on these. Yeah, so this is paste wax. So there's a solvent in it right now, it's paste. It's okay if it gets a little bit harder on me. I don't need it to be, you know, very soft. The solvent will flash off. So that's why I transfer it from this tin into this one. That way, if something bad happens, I only waste the tin worth, not the whole bottle. Yes, that cat is Luna. She's actually a year old now. Let's see. Of course, I have pictures. Hi. Very nice. Welcome back, Sister May. Let's see if I can find kitties. So that's Luna. And then that is Jordy. Jordy is a beast. He's a cat and a half. Yeah, a couple days back I said I was going to be on, and then I ended up sitting in the emergency room for 4 hours. Gotta love the kitties. Yeah, she was just way oranger when she was little. Oh, not a big deal. My girlfriend's blood pressure was just really high. So she was worried, so we went to the emergency room. She called her doctor. Turns out everything's fine. No worries. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, she better be okay. She's my sander, and she lays out patterns. She drills. It's a team effort here. Right? So yeah, you know, I used to do everything on my own, and now she takes care a lot of the website stuff, as far as posting and doing the social media stuff. She does a lot of that too. Yes, she's my sander and finisher. You know, it just basically frees me up to, you know, live on the scroll saw and the lathe, basically. But she also lays out my patterns, too. Yeah, we're one of those strange couples who get along. Yeah, so she'll put the blue painter's tape down, put the pattern on, and drill the center hole for me. So when I get it like this, and then I just cut it out. Works out real well. Yeah, I don't think she wants to drive to Ohio to help you out, but I'll ask her. She's going to Wyoming, right? I'll let her know. Well, so she used to drill them by hand with just with a corded drill. That's how I was doing it for quite a while. For some reason, my chat is not working on the phone. So this is what she uses to drill holes now. You can tell it's a good drill press because it has a USB port on it. Crazy drill press. Oh yeah. So this is her drill press. It's a Nova Viking. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's got depth. You get to find the depth stop on it. So it'll drill until it hits the depth they want, and then it'll shut off. And then it will run the drill bit in reverse. It has self-start. So if you're doing a bunch of holes, bring your handle down, it starts. Bring it back, it'll shut off. Yeah, the electric depth stop is pretty sweet. Yeah. And it's direct drive too. So there's no pulleys or anything in it. So that's her drill press for drilling the holes in the spindle. And this old Performex that doesn't even have the spring is shot in it, that's mine. And then I got the little Bauer in the back there, which is actually much nicer than the Performex, but I've had that for a decade, so. What is Boston? I guess I missed it. Yeah, it's a USB port. That's how you know it's good. Yeah, it wasn't cheap. Yeah, it's just a quill spring. It's not a big deal. I'm just so used to not having it there. It's a feature now. Well, and now I'm kind of worried because it's made by Nova. All my chucks are made by Nova, and they filed for bankruptcy like 3 weeks ago. So hopefully, I don't need any warranty things with it. I feel bad for everybody who has the lathe. You know, I don't know. Maybe they're getting bought out by somebody else. Who knows? Oh yeah, I mean, like with my Rikon, for a long time I could not order the bearings directly from them. So, you know, I ended up ordering, you know, the bearings from like McMaster Car. I mean, the bearings in this one are starting to get a little loud, but I think I can get another 6 months out of it. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Give me a second. Hi, honey. I'm okay. I'm live streaming. How you doing? Did you just wake up? Wow, you took like a 3-hour nap. Alright, well, I was planning on walking home because I knew the exit. I'm sure you would. No, I have to come. I'm sure you wouldn't mind if I walked home. I plan on live streaming till 5, so I got about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to clean up a little, so probably about 5:30 I'll start walking. I'll be home by 6. Alright, any ideas for dinner? Well, we'll figure something out. I'm still hankering for fried rice. Yeah, if you want to make up some rice, I'll make fried rice when we get home. Let's shoot for like 6 o'clock. What does that say? All right. Yeah, make it like right now and then throw it in the refrigerator. Then I'll get cold and clumpy like I want. Alright, honey, thank you. I love you, and I will see you in about an hour and a half. 2 hours. Alright, bye-bye. Alright. Guess I'm making fried rice. Fried rice used to be like my starvation, you know, my cheap meal I made when I was young. But with the price of eggs these days. It was kind of like, you know, spaghetti. It's something I could make that the kids would eat. So I finished up the top whirls that I needed for my wholesale order. I got most of them stained yesterday, and I got a clear coat on today. I got a glaze on today. And then I had 4 minis that I made that I have to spray tonight. And then it's just sanding some Turkish spindles, and I'll finally be done with that order. So I was going through stuff at home, and I found this this 1/4-inch red heart. Oh, so pretty. So yeah, this is going to be loose sets. Just gorgeous. Who knows how long I've had that sitting around. I'm going to make some loose sets. Oh, I hear ya. So yeah, my loose sets are pretty basic. These aren't sanded yet. But yeah, so we got some rosewoods there. Some bacote. Some canary wood. So these are like the doomsday supply. So when we sell a few, then she'll sand a few more. when I buy the exotic woods for like my gliders, so when I buy the wood, it tends to be a little fatter than. We just sand them with a flap wheel, so we get them nice and rounded over. When I get my exotic wood, it's much thicker. I have them resaw it, and I'll either get a piece big enough to make lucettes out of, or I will, if it's too small for that, too thin for that, I will plane and drum sand it to like about 3 millimeters, and then make null binding needles out of them as well. Let me go grab one let's see if we can find one that's done. I'm sure there'll be some in the rack. So for some reason my audio, my text, the messages, hang on a second, are not showing up on my phone. There's one. So there's no sharp edges. And they are comfortable in the hand, so just fiber, just everywhere. Oh, yeah. So, this is one of the flap wheel sanders that we use. So this started its life out as having a 5-inch sanding pad on the front. So it started out as one of these. And then I redesigned it to make it into a flap sander. Here's one that my grandfather had. No, the remote control is for me. Yeah, so I'm standing here and my vacuum cleaner's on a remote as well. It's just easier than trying to plug things in. But I gotta be careful because I can turn on a sander from here too. Yeah, the remote controls save a lot of time, a lot of bending over. Then I have a second one that I have on my exhaust for my laser engravers. Yeah, kind of like my 3D printed Destiny spindles that are like made out of flexible filament. Making one of the first simple machines as complicated and as modern as you possibly can. I'm a little terrified about the cost of wood, exotic woods coming up. Right. Well, this one is as simple as, this is just an old cell phone that I have hooked up on Wi-Fi. And then I just run the YouTube app and live stream. So it's not a very difficult setup at all. It's not even using a computer. It's just an old cell phone that I bought. So this was a closeout prepaid cell phone. It was like 50 bucks. And the only reason I bought that is so I can use my normal cell phone without getting interrupted. And then I just bought this stand that I have mounted on the wall so I don't get any vibrations off the lathe. I have a very similar one over here for this scroll saw. And then in the back corner I have, you know, the same thing, but those have web cameras on for recording video. A little whirlwind desk catcher and scroll saw, nice. So yeah, I'm just running through, and then you can read the text on the phone. You can also cast to a monitor if you want to. What I'm actually doing is I just pulled up YouTube on the computer, and I'm just watching the live stream. So that gives me the ability to just read the text. So I have that running here. And then I have a monitor over there for the scroll saw. I have one in the back that's not hooked up. And then I also have one over there as well. So I can kind of see what's going on no matter where I am. So yeah, that monitor there. I do have a laptop with dual monitors for the laser engraver stuff. But I also have a second HDMI cable plugged in there. Which comes in handy because most of the time it's just, you know, I'll have headphones on and then I'll have like TV or something going on there to watch. So it's an old cell phone, yep. Mounted, yep. Wi-Fi to your real phone. It's Wi-Fi to the internet, yeah. So it's not tethered to my phone at all. So I bought the phone and I did not activate it. And then I'm just running the YouTube app. Let's see if this one's even charged. And this is my backup phone to this one. Yeah, it's not charged. So the monitors are hooked up to, yeah, it's hooked up to my main computer, yeah. So yeah, if you had a laptop opened up just so you can see what's going on, or you could position your phone to where you can see it on the monitor, on the screen on the phone too. I mean, if you have the YouTube app on your television, you could open up and watch as well. So on the phone app, it's just hitting the plus button. And then you just fill this out, hit next, and then you can go live. You have old phones? Well, see if the YouTube app will work. I had it running on some pretty old iPhones. Yeah, that's why I'm running it on the television screens. You know, if you had like a tablet, you could open up the tablet. It just gives me another place to view it rather than on the screen. For some reason, my chat froze on the phone. Yep. We won't go to the Chromecast. Now, I'm running a vertical video right now. If I ran horizontal video, I could use the computers and the webcams and have multiple cams running at one time. Yeah, I'm not sure about the casting. There's a 7-inch. Alright guys, we're going to do one more and then we're going to have to call it a stream. I got to clean up and go home and walk home and have some dinner. Which is good, that'll, my exercise rings at like nothing. So. Privyet, my drug! Sorry, I only speak English. Right. Actually, it's not. After I'm done streaming, it will process, and then if you go to my channel, it'll be under live streams, and it saves all the ones I made. Sometimes I will delete them. I don't know how much of a value they have. It's just me talking. Yeah, running it off your phone is just a couple clicks and you're in. Let's see if I got the translator on here. Let's see. Right? Be nice to hang out. Russian. So. Hello from Russia. I like yours. It is what was said. I'm trying. There we go. It's a brave new world, I tell you. Hey Grace, how's it going? You caught me right at the end of the stream. That is very true. The world is much smaller now. That's good to hear. It's Saturday. If you were in the park, I bet it would feel just like the 4th of July. You look like the 4th of July. Man, I really want a hot dog. I'm doing good. I'm just getting ready to clean up a little bit and go home. Go. I think let me shut off the dust collector, and then I'll take it down in the basement. I've got a couple things I need to spray. I'll show you guys a scary basement. All right. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to see the chat unless I open up another window on my phone, which I can do. Seems a little silly, but there we go. All right, that's kind of weird. So I'm not going to be able to see the chat, so you're just going to have to trust me that, you know, I'm still here. There we go. Yeah, for some reason the chat is locked up, but I have it now. I have it on this phone now. So all these are drying. So these are the ones we were working on a couple days back. So I know the lighting is horrible down here. Like it's a creepy basement. There you go. Scary face. It's odd, I do have a stand down here, so. Oh, that was loud. Something fell. So we have these here. These are lightweight top rails. You'd like to see the popcorn maker? We can show you the popcorn maker. So let me get these sprayed. There's only 5 of them. Yeah, right now we're kind of in between shows, so we got all our display stuff kind of thrown about right now. All right, 3 more. I guess there was 6. That much space for drying, yeah, it's really convenient. So most of the time when I'm spraying down here, if it's more than just 1 or 2, I will have a mist coming down and I'll spray into the mist, which will take a lot of it out of the air. Yeah, and things just dry really nice down here. All right. All right. It's not spooky down here at all. I mean, the people who were here before us, a couple tenants ago, they did silk screening. So this is where it's just an old oil tank, like that one, that they cut in half. And then they would rinse the screens for silk screening. So they did leave a few in here. So if anybody needs to, it's hard to see. It says Syracuse on it, so you can silkscreen Syracuse on things. All right, let's look at the popcorn machine, and then I got to go clean. Yeah, that's why it's all blue down there. From the emulsion. So, here's our little popcorn machine. And our little coffee maker. And our little hot pot. And our little air fryer. And our little microwave. And our little pizza oven. And our little refrigerator. Okay, the sign I made fell. I was wondering what it was. I didn't have a good way to hang it, so I just put tape down. So that's what fell. And also, this is what we made in the video that I released today. We got some new Cordale in. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. We're trying to eat a little healthier, so you know. Our pantry is kind of depleted right now, but we have some stuff here. All right, let's check on the dragons. It is a tiny cafeteria. But I looked at it this way. Did I lock up? All right. So the dragons still have a little over 2 hours left on them. Huh. It looks like we're running now. I'd hate to lock up right at the end of the stream. So, and remember, that is not a step. All right, guys. I am out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Thank you much. Bye-bye.